We actually started relatively close to 6:30 today.
I mean,
cares?
It's 6:31.
That's close enough, right? I mean, we never said we'd be perfect every week.
Well, the thing is that think about everything else. At least we're actually here and at relative in the time. I mean, we technically started before with the pre-show and all that. You don't have to be dead on time every time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there. Keep it up.
But essentially, we're here. The Fray isn't, and that's all that matters, I think.
That's right. You are not watching The Fray. You are watching Super Desperation Radio. I Play Winners, longest-running fighting game-related podcast that's actually good.
This
that's
week
actually
brought
still
to you by
going.
Grumpy Cat.
Is it?
God.
Oh, no. Yeah, I forgot that's happening right now. Ugh.
Yeah, it's definitely.
How can you have meme day for anything? It pisses me off to no end.
I've watched the WWE in the last decade, but meme day is like, it's at least once a month.
Is it like official, though?
No, it's just Lost Cena wins.
Oh.
Man, I thought meme day was every day. Because I do see Hanzo Gonzo putting up memes all the time.
That's just Hanzo Gonzo. Dude.
Yeah, man, it's like every day for him is a meme.
You mean to tell me he does not represent all of society that's on the internet?
Maybe on the internet.
Yeah, that's pretty close, accurate.
Hanzo Gonzo is young meme, okay?
Yes, young meme. I forget that we've dubbed him young meme.
But
Good for him. But yeah, we want to welcome you to the show. Another Monday.
Wait, I'm thinking, do we have to be sponsored by Grumpy Cat? Couldn't we do like Kermit sips tea?
well, they did have the Muppets on once.
But was
I'm
Kermit
honestly
throwing shade?
Well, this was before Kermit Throw Shade meme.
That's what I mean. They totally missed the boat on that.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's our gain. We get, all that Grumpy Cat money.
Yes, all that Grumpy. There is Grumpy Cat money. That's so sad.
He has a
Make a
movie
ring pennies
on
to that,
Lifetime.
Why?
He's probably promoting it tonight.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. But we have other things to talk about other than Grumpy Cat, and I'm not going to talk about football tonight because there's literally no reason to.
It's true.
Wow.
So we're gonna.
I feel bad for the Sanchez.
I'm right here.
We do have 1, 2, 3 topics, I believe. I'm not even know why I'm counting it out loud. We should just talk about it because, I'm over here.
Just thinking about the count from Sesame Street, I guess.
Seriously, 1, 2, 3 topics.
Chris,
What's up?
your opinion on the first topic. Ogawa specifically said you are complete shit at Guilty Gear.
Like specifically to me?
Yeah.
Oh well. How come nobody told me? Shit, I've been like trying to get an answer for that all week.
Well, I mean, I told you.
Tell Ogawa to see me in the streets.
I'm pretty sure Ogawa will call out a shadow and just, cut you into pieces.
Eat me or something. Yeah, probably.
He'll go high and he'll go low and you won't be able to block it.
That's still a thing. That's still a thing too, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. That's something that happened this weekend and I didn't understand it. Apparently everybody was mad at Ogawa for saying that we suck. Or we're, at the very least, we're not worth the trip. Which could mean anything, really, because that's a long, expensive trip.
Yeah, but maybe you can make that money, though. It depends on how many people are going to be thrown into the pot. That might be worth it.
I feel like Ogawa showing up would actually lessen that number.
I don't think so.
I think
That's why he does a double blind plane ride to the tournament.
Don't let them know I'm coming.
Yeah, I think Ogawa coming would be good. People would just want to come just to play him because he's never left the country, right?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't think in every SBO finals, I don't think he's even been matched up against an American team.
No.
All those American teams.
Or the one American team in the Guilty Gear finals, yeah.
I mean, from that one place in Texas.
Yeah.
Mm.
They did a news story about one of those guys once.
I see.
He was a Potemkin player, and everybody was like, fuck that guy, but at least he's from America.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, Ogawa's never even played an American. So I can only assume that his opinion is strictly based off of match videos and tournament videos, and he's, it's fairly an accurate representation of what we got going.
I'm not even sure Ogawa knows anything about America outside of Captain America at this point.
And hamburgers.
Well,
I don't know. You probably thought they were,
Well, I've said this
a myth.
before, and I've been wrong about this before, where I've said things like, "Oh man, like this guy can say whatever he wants because he's fucking Kaoru." And then Kaoru came to Evo and got wrecked by Romance. So I won't say that completely. Ogawa is.
Oh no! Now I get it. I understand now. Okay, it's not worth the trip because he's gonna get blown out if he shows. No, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I don't know. It is a smaller, more niche game.
Yeah.
Not a lot of profit margin. But hey, it's a less experience.
Depends. I mean, look at BlazBlue last year. That paid out pretty well.
Well, yeah, if you get like a pot bonus, then show up.
Oh yeah, if Mori's like, actually not Mori, it had to be Daisuke. I don't know if Daisuke's a fan of throwing money at tournaments though.
Doesn't matter. What only matters is our system works.
That's true.
What else doesn't matter? His comments if he ain't showing up.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like everybody got so
People can say whatever they want.
Yeah, people can say whatever they want, man. Like, hey, who cares? Why is anyone going to get upset about this? He's a great player, and everybody knows that, who has paid attention to Guilty Gear. But if he's not coming to America, I don't care what he thinks about Americans. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Like, that's just something we're never going to be able to prove either way if he doesn't show up. And we're not going to... There's no more SBOs, and as far as I know, we're not getting into Arc River for Guilty Gear, so...
Yeah,
Peyton Manning had just said he's not going to Japan because the trip's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like... Peyton Manning ain't gonna go play American football in Japan, guys.
Gotta go break those.
Hold on, no, guys, we got it all wrong. Fact checker Badoofus said Ogawa said it's not worth the trip because Britney Spears doesn't do shows in Vegas anymore.
That should be a good
is she
thing
up to
for him.
Reno now?
Probably.
Actually, yeah,
But
it's probably.
see, this makes even more sense because you figure Ogawa's a fighting game player. He just wants to play all the competition he can, whether or not they're beneath him or above him. But him not seeing his girl Britney Spears makes a lot of sense.
No, yeah, I understand that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just seems like he would want to come regardless. So I think it's more like an economical thing.
Do you really think that Vassant would go to Vegas every year for Evo if Celine Dion wasn't playing?
That's true.
So I think you can look at it like that.
Evo 2005, I remember him saying he wasn't going to go until he found out Celine Dion was playing.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think Jay's showing up if Celine ain't there.
This is true.
He might not be there this year then, because I heard she's taking a break.
It's rough.
So I heard that she's trying to go through a little thing to get with the kids. She's gonna change herself to C hyphen lean Lean. C lean.
C lean.
To get with the kids.
Jesus.
Cool. Is she going to be sipping on lean though?
Well, yeah, definitely.
She's
She's
gonna
gonna
have
have.
C lean. She's got to be.
You guys see her with her styrofoam cup and her mysterious purple beverage.
Pretty sure she's going to have the cleanest white shirt.
The Titanic song.
It's gonna be an SNL bit one day. So yeah, it doesn't matter, people. You can say whatever you want, and if you're gonna get mad and get fired up to play Guilty Gear, great. You should be doing that anyway. So, but that's good. Yeah. More hype for Exard coming out, which is, as I've heard in the Skype chat, December 16th. So.
And if you are importing or digitally importing, as some people probably are doing, December 4th. So a little over 2 weeks now.
Yep, it's quickly approaching, and it's weird because I'm like, I almost thought this game wasn't going to come out to the end of December. It's actually coming out fairly early in the month of December. So I'm pretty sure December is just going to be Exard month.
See, the bad thing though about it coming right then is that everybody's going to be waiting for that, and ain't nobody going to be doing their Christmas shopping.
Nope.
So we're all going to show up around December 20th and be like, damn, what did I do for the last... Nothing. I didn't do shit.
Getting angry calls from relatives and stuff. You were supposed to show up to the party 2 hours ago.
Whoops.
Yep.
But Grandma, I can do dust loops now.
What do you mean about
dust loop you upside your head? But yeah, so that's cool. You know, Arc just doesn't care about the holiday season.
Well, I mean, you know, they want to make that money in the holiday season.
Arc just doesn't love Jesus. That's all right.
But they love Freddie Mercury.
They do love Freddie Mercury.
That's much better than loving
So they love rock and roll Jesus. Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that's cool. I can't wait, personally. I am definitely going to dedicate several weekends to playing online before I probably go back to Unio halftime. Dude, I've been online on that shit just randomly. It's a freaking desert on there. And I'm not saying it's like dying in popularity, but
then what are you saying?
Come back. That's all I want to say.
I think you're trying to say that everyone is slowly realizing that the DFC netcode is complete ass.
That's what I was getting at, actually, because I saw the tweet today where Koopa was just like, fuck this game. It's like got the worst system ever. And I'm thinking, like, it's literally developed by the same people that made Uniel. With the same, like, pretty much design, like, basis, except way lazier.
Well, I mean, everything about that game visually looks way lazier, so it doesn't surprise me.
Exactly.
No. You got this wrong. Visually, that game has a little girl who dunks you. She legitimately dunks you. That is one of the most amazing sights I've seen in a fighting game.
That's co-opting SNK culture.
Quite some time.
Lord Raptor did that over 20 years ago. And he took you to the hoop. Like, she didn't just shoot the three.
I gotta say, that's true.
Like this little girl is Bird, and Lord Raptor was Jordan.
Damn.
Jordan was taking you to the hoop and dunking on your ass. This
I'm
little
pretty
girl's
sure
just on
this
the
little
outside.
girl dunks on you too. Like, she will take you to the hoop and hang on that rim for a bit.
I
Take
don't
to
know,
the
man.
hoop like Slam?
Freaking Raptor
Did she
was
beat Chat?
hanging in there like, you know, he was just rubbing his nuts on the backboard, which was technically your face. So,
That's not very polite of him at all.
well, you know, he's a zombie.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
He's also into metal.
That's true also. And he's British.
He's Australian.
Is it Australian?
He's Australian, yeah.
Okay.
The
Don't like
storylines
this,
that
I didn't know either.
he sold his soul to...
He sold his soul to
Book.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah, Paul Hogan, yeah.
Interesting.
Jesus. But yeah, so, you know, people are realizing DFC might not be all it's cracked up to be. And I'll admit I was a little tight seeing all these people just pop up with DFC streams all over the place. And I'm like, you guys should be playing Uniel with me. Come on.
You know what? Actually, just here's what I've come to realize. I'm not going to say an opinion about the games because I haven't actually touched it. I will only remark individuals. It doesn't call out to me. I don't give a shit about any of the characters. If you enjoy it, go do your thing. If you don't, Uniel's right here. If you don't like Uniel, Melty Blood's over there. If you don't like that,
Street Fighter 4
we have numerous streams at Street Fighter 4 here on I Play Winner, featuring Why Me Dojo and
Some mediocre Cody player.
yeah, some really shitty Cody players. So if you want to watch that, that's available to you. We all have. It's a wonderful time for fighting games. Let's all enjoy what we like. Game looks like ass. Just God, visually it looks like.
But it has Akira Yuki in it.
And he looks terrible.
And everybody's asking, what do I do with this character? And I'm just like, you lose.
I mean, he looks.
I see him do 50% and stuff.
Yeah,
he
he's
visually looks
powerful.
bad.
Shit.
He
Yeah,
looks.
yeah.
Oh.
The game looks like a hot mess. It looks like a Flash game.
I'm actually
I don't like
seeing
one super is
that
just him
animation.
kicking him into the air and then punching like left and right jab really fast. That was kind of sad, but
I
who
mean,
cares? You're gonna
no,
do the fucking palm strike super anyways.
no, how the game plays, I haven't touched. But visually, the game just looks like ass.
Nothing calls him.
What's weird is, like, Sega publishes, like, you know, Sega was putting the bill for it. This is their franchise, or I guess it's their franchise. It's their fighting game franchise. And so they're basically putting this out and immediately announced that Blade Arcus game, which came out a week ago, and it also looks like crap. And I'm just thinking, like, are they just trying to, like, oversell themselves, or, like, are they trying to blow up the market with fighting games again? They think people are going to buy this shit?
I mean, they did.
Yeah, I know. That's what scares me.
I mean, all the streams are indicative of people buying the damn game. Even if they all got it on shares, somebody paid for
Somebody bought one. Ugh. But
So,
it just
it.
feels
Wasn't
like...
a total loss?
Not for Sega, no. And that's actually good because Sega needs all the help they can get because fuck Sega. But
No,
So
man,
can
they're just
somebody
going to make
explain
more
something to
Sonic
me?
games.
There's a Sonic stage in that fighting game, but there's no
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yes.
it's because
Yeah,
he's too
Sonic's
busy
in Smash
being
Brothers,
outsourced.
how are you gonna have a Sonic stage and not have a Sonic character? Like
Because
game.
He's been
You're telling me
outsourced, man.
I can't play as Robotnik. Like that'd be tight.
Actually, that is kind of disappointing. There was no not even a representation of a Sonic character.
Like, give me Bean or one of these other fucking shitty ass tertiary Sonic characters.
So,
What were the other ones? There was like
tertiary Sonic characters and shit.
there's like what? Fucking there's Bean,
Bark.
Lizard Dude.
Mighty the Armadillo.
Yeah, these guys, nobody fucking remembers them. Like, they were on a 32 hour game, and that was it.
that's a lie. I remember them. Bark, Bean, Knack, SBO.
They gotta bring back the
Vector,
squirrel from the
all those
arcade game.
dumbasses. Ray.
What was the bat's name?
Which one?
That's a
The
newer
fucking
character.
Rouge?
Yeah.
Oh, Rouge? Yeah, fuck Rouge.
What about
I'm pretty
the cat?
sure that this confirms that
Big?
Yeah,
Walkman
right.
Or
is just
Blaze.
a huge Sonic fanboy.
Nah, it's just, it's disgusting. I mean, I grew up playing those games. Genesis was one of the main staples in my house, versus, also NES. So I used to play Sonic 2, like, all the time. I was a fan, but
Deep game.
fuck Sonic.
It was for those kids who liked Mario, but they wanted to grow up and smoke weed one day, so they picked Sonic.
But Sonic goes fast.
Yeah, and weed's a gateway drug to speed. Oh,
Now I think you're reaching a little bit.
I am a little bit.
See, I mean, the reason Sonic goes fast is because he just wanted to get his 15 minutes of fame in the early 90s. And then he just went too fast. And he just tanked everything from there.
Well, there was a sort of an era of him trying
Blue
to.
was a very fast color. We all know red is the fastest color.
This is true. That's
It's
why
3
cops
times
like
faster.
Can we just agree that Sonic 3D Blast was the beginning of the end?
I think it was before that, to be completely honest.
Sonic 3. I
Like,
kind of
Spinball's
hated the
pretty
fact that
fucking bad.
I kind of hated the fact that we had to deal with Sonic Spinball like it was a mainline game.
Yeah.
They promoted it like
wasn't.
it was a big thing.
Yeah.
I got to give it to them. The marketing campaign for Sonic 2 was the best, even though they lied about everything.
I feel like we had this conversation last week.
We did.
Damn
That's why
it.
I'm not going
Kind of
into
did,
it.
yeah.
We're not going to talk about blast processing anymore.
Super senile radio.
On blast processing.
We're definitely not talking
Yeah.
about that.
No, sir. Dengenku Faku, play it or don't play it. I'm going to say no, play it.
Yeah, pretty much just play whatever game you want. Like, who gives a shit? Just make the judgment for yourself. Take other people's opinions into consideration.
But then what's the
just
point
judge
of
for yourself.
journalism?
I don't know.
Oh, let me
To tell people that journalism. What journalism does to me is that I'll see something and it'll be like, "This happened." I'm like, "Oh, really? Let me do my own research." Thank you, Mr. Headline. I'm not clicking your article.
So you're saying like what we do is just advertisement?
Pretty much.
No. You're offering an opinion.
Well, yeah, that too.
You're
But
basically,
remember, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but just think for yourself. So it's fine if you agree or don't agree with someone else. Just to, expect that.
There are the rare
Accept.
instances where you may have received some information from that opinion that changes your own opinion, so therefore the article is important to you
No, yeah.
because you learned
definitely.
something. So it's not just all advertising.
No, I mean, no, it isn't. But I mean, it's just, yeah, you get someone's opinion on it, or some sort of objective story talking that it exists. That's perfectly fine. So a lot of people here's consensus is Denki Bunko fighting climax.
But what I'm getting at is that the people of this that watch this show want to hear our opinions on stuff.
Oh well, yeah. Well, our opinion is probably don't play it. I mean, I'll try it, whatever. I'm not gonna ever play it. Try to even think about playing it seriously. I'd rather spend my time
My
playing
opinion
other
is that DFC does not go fast enough for Sonic. Shouldn't have a Sonic stage in it.
things.
Heard it here first.
This is with the frame skippage.
Wow.
Yep, I said it. Not even sorry. And then you might see games like DFC at tournaments eventually because we play everything. Actually, I was wondering, is there going to be like a spot for side games at 37 Reloaded this weekend?
There is an official BYOC area that costs $10 to use.
Sick.
Spectating is, of course, free, but if you want to partake in any of the BYOC equipment, it's a $10 entry.
That's cool. That's actually a really good way to do it. Rather than charging everyone an entry fee, Rather, if you're gonna play games, do it.
So he's gonna give people a wristband or something, or what?
Yeah, that's usually what
Probably.
they do. Is they'll have a wristband enforcement where you pay the $10.
They give you a tattoo.
Oh,
They just tattoo it on your hand.
You get
God, I wish I was
barcoded.
going. They just
Yeah.
stamp you, like brand you in blood or
It's like,
something.
yeah, okay. Oh, so you want to play some BYLC? Okay, go sit over here into this barber chair. We're gonna shave the back of your head and just tattoo a barcode to the back. All right, here's $10.
No,
Thanks.
they're gonna just. It's gonna burn a barcode into your skin.
Yeah. Hold him
Brand it
down,
into you.
Mondo.
Nah, man. Everybody's just getting SpongeBob tattoos. Sorry.
Oh God. Hopefully they're temporary hennas.
Ooh.
There we go.
I want my
But, I mean,
SpongeBob
this
tattoo.
is the way it used to happen at tournaments too. Like this was
Yeah.
spectating was always free, and you only paid if you were playing.
I think that was like something a lot of people missed when Evo started charging for spectating. Is that you know? It was just one of those things where it was like, yeah, you could literally just walk into the venue and watch for free. They can't stop you from doing. Well, I guess they can now, but they
now they
weren't.
can.
But
They have security.
if you're going to partake of things that they like space that they rented out for this usage, how can you expect to get in for free? You can't even do that at anime conventions. Like you can't even go to the gamer halls and anime conventions for free anymore.
Wait, you have to pay in addition to being at the show,
Mhm.
or are you talking
Or-
about just with being?
Well, you
there?
can walk into the show, but you have to have the badge.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is, so people used to go into just the game area with no badge.
Yeah, like all the
Oh, I
time
never
because
did that shit.
like the over at Fanime, the gaming area was one of the free areas because it was a bunch of like third party vendors. Like the guy who ran the SF State Arcade brought all his cabs out there, and since he was a third party vendor, he was like, no, just let everybody in. If they got quarters, I want them coming over here. But now it's the complete opposite, where you can go everywhere else other than the viewing room. And I think you can go into the dealer hall for free still. But yeah, I tried going into the game room just to say what's up to somebody real quick, and they were like, hey, let me see your badge. And I'm like, fuck. So that's how it is. I mean, it makes sense. It's smarter. Otherwise, you're basically paying for people to come up there and like, you know, you never know. Somebody might bring their own setup and just fuck off in the corner and just, you know, spend the whole weekend over there and not drop a dime on the event.
That sounds what a lot of people in the fighting game community would do, actually.
Yeah, and the scary part is that some of those people expect that. Like,
Yeah, dude, because, you know, it doesn't cost anything to rent space or any... They just give that stuff away.
they just give that stuff away because you're like, oh man, you're having a Street Fighter tournament? Yeah, come on in. You're bringing Daigo? I love that guy.
I am Daigo.
Oh,
Hi, Daigo. I'm dead.
So yeah, it's, you know, I know that's something I think a lot of people are wondering is, well, like another issue is like with Capcom Cup coming up, is that going to change the way some tournaments run, or maybe they might make some new tournaments that run specifically for viewers only with no BYLC area, and people might just lose their shit because they're like, why the fuck would I go then if I
You
can't
know what?
run?
I have no
That's
problems with that. What I have a problem with is doing it in a place where all the hotels are ass expensive, like they are this year. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I
they're
heard
only
about
like
that.
200 or 250 a night. Oh wait, that's
That's
A
more
night?
That's
Hey,
more
Paul.
than it costs to stay at Evo.
Paul, this is why you got to play. Paul, this is why you got to play Ultra, so you can get your room comped.
No. How about I not?
You can just
Comp
get
these
top
nuts.
8. You could just like get top 8 at every major in America and get those points, and then, you know, qualify.
That would entail me actually giving a flying shit about that game. I wanted to go up to Capcom Cup like I did last year just to hang out with people who I know were going to be there, but they're making it cost prohibitive for me to actually have fun.
And that's where the divide is coming in, is because not only was it a lot of money to get to San Francisco, go to this event, and if you wanted to sit up front, which was never really an issue before, it's now $75.
Like, okay,
And-
that I don't even mind, to be completely honest.
No, it's not
Like,
a big deal.
That if people want to do whatever, and you know there's the party after, and they have a whole bunch of exclusive stuff for people who want to pay money. Totally cool. I'm not into it, but it's totally cool for people who want it. The fact that I have to pay a shit ton to get a hotel, I'm not cool with. So
That's I won't even say that's esports, because, you know, not everybody in
No.
esports can afford that.
I understand what you're saying, where you know, there is maybe a potential fear that this will set a precedent for a tournament to the point where things will a lot be more about just the game, and then people show up and pay and spectate, which I think is fine, because I think there's room for obviously both. As a matter of fact, I was even saying like there should be tournaments that are way more like casual, you know what I mean? And not like in like the way that people play, but in the sense that like old school like house tournaments and stuff. You know, I was talking to Paul about this before, about how people just show up to apparently some guy's house, play tournament for a day, and then they would just hang out and play casuals the next day. But it was just at some dude's house. It wasn't like a special venue or anything like that. But
Is that
obviously it's co-op. Huh?
I feel like that sounds familiar. That happened in SoCal for Guilty Gear, right? Was it
I mean,
barbecue?
I don't think it happened in SoCal. I think it happened in, but there are other things like it. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think that's such a cool idea. Like, there's room for all sorts of and spectrums of how we do this. Because I mean, the most important thing is that you're playing the game. Where you're playing it doesn't necessarily matter. If you want to watch, that's cool too. But in the day and age where we do have the technology such as streaming, and you know, where space can be more limited, people still aren't left out from these events from not being there. So I mean, it just goes to show that like, there's probably even other models that we haven't even thought about yet that could potentially exist that people would also enjoy. So. I mean, it's just all about advancing and moving forward, which is what it seems like we're doing so far. So,
Well,
I mean, more power
take the
to
first
it.
step.
Yeah, I don't mind having a few missteps, especially, and if people are unhappy with it, you know, just kind of voice your opinions. Don't go if you don't want to, and then maybe things will change. Never know.
Vote with your dollars.
Well, technically, you're voting with your stream views too, and that's not bad for Capcom either. But either way, yeah. I mean, like, as somebody who's living in the city where this is going to be happening, I'm, like, in the best position. But I stand the chance of not seeing a lot of my friends come to this thing because it's kind of exclusive. And the after party is going to be incredibly exclusive, which, you know, I expected. I'm not going to complain about that. But, man, I feel like it's kind of going to suck if I go to that thing and it's just like, you know, a bunch of people I don't know. Nobody's playing anything. Everybody's just kind of, you know, talking about how they can improve the business, which is, you know, also important, but I don't give a fuck about that shit after a tournament. I want to get drunk.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's where the Foundry comes in.
That's where the Foundry comes in. Or if you want to, I can take you on a tour of the downtown drinking facilities.
No thanks.
No? Come on. Come on.
These sound like dicey areas.
Well, I mean, they sound like it, but, you know, they only look like that, too.
Okay, hold on. Chris, are they dicey areas, yes or no?
Define dicey.
Chris, are we going to end up in the Tenderloin?
I mean, technically, we already are.
That was already too dicey, but I was just going to ask, how many white people working in tech industry are there? Because I want nothing to do with it.
That's more my angle.
At. Yeah. That's where Tony's
a place where I can just throw down with people and.
Where the Foundry? For the after party, the Foundry's going to be in an area that used to be very dicey, but they've since moved out all of the low-income people that were living there for survival, and now it's nothing but a bunch of, you know, tech nerds and stuff and hipsters. So it's relatively safe, and the bars are nice.
Oh, so it's kind of like Echo Park in L.A.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so if you can't make it at the Capcom Cup, you should do that, or, you know, tell Paul about a cheaper hotel, apparently, I don't know. Apparently there's one for $100 by the Foundry.
I was having a hard time finding anything, but, I mean, I don't know San Francisco, so obviously I don't know what I'm looking.
I was trying to stay at the Rice-A-Roni factory, but I couldn't find it.
The Rice-A-Roni factory,
really.
Jesus. That's a nice area, too.
The Rice-A-Roni factory?
Yeah. Where it's at.
I'm going to have to check it out.
There's really no bad areas in San Francisco anymore. I mean, there's like one.
Oh, you mean exactly where Carter parked?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
All right, first of all, Carter parked somewhere where he had no business being at. Plus, he drives a nice car.
What exactly does that mean?
Plus, he drives a nice car, so... There's just steps you got to take to not getting robbed in a city. You know, drive a shitty car like I do. You know, don't leave nothing in the car.
See, all right, here's what we got to do, Chris. We got to go into business designing glass that looks like it's already been smashed in.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Like, no one's going to give your car a second thought. They're like, oh, this guy's already been hit up. Why am I even going to bother?
But the cops will definitely pull you over.
That's why you pull it off. It's
Yeah.
like a fucking like.
Oh, it's
what
a
if
big
someone,
decal?
what if
Yeah, it's
someone
just a
sees
decal.
you take it off and put it on, and they know it's a fake?
Well, then
What we need to do, we need to have just a plexiglass dome we can put around that, like we can make out of like pieces of sheets of plexiglass, like really strong plexiglass, like bulletproof glass, to put around our car so nobody can even touch it.
If you think about it, how come they don't already make cars with bulletproof glass? Like, exactly what are they trying to avoid by not making bulletproof windows? Because the only thing I can think of is that the cop can't shoot you through the window.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some truth to that.
It's
You have to
kind
get
of
special
depressing.
permits to get your car bulletproofed and your windows bulletproofed.
Right. It's like, oh, geez, I can't be shot through my window, but that costs me extra money and legal rights that I don't have at birth.
Look, dude, you're not the Pope.
I don't have the right to not get shot in my own fucking car, apparently.
Yeah,
Damn!
that's only reserved for His Holiness.
I mean, fair.
Is it really fair? Like,
And by the way, His Holiness, he meant Daigo, the Daigo Mobile.
Yeah.
Daigo
Okay, because
definitely
I
be
was sitting
ready.
here thinking Michael Dudikoff. That's why I'm like,
Oh, well, sorry.
No, Daigo's definitely showing up in an armored car that was outfitted from a bank truck. So,
There you go.
got
It's
to
the Mad
protect the
Cat's
goods.
bank truck.
Yeah. Heard they're flying him in for 37 Reloaded. How about that? He's actually going now.
Honestly, I have no idea what happened. And I don't think any of us do.
I mean,
So-
I think I know what happened. It was a bad press public moment, and then they corrected it.
And now
That
everything's
was-
all right.
I mean, basically, yeah, that's the story. Like, a lot of people were asking, like, hey, what happened with, the whole Daigo not going to 37 Reloaded thing, and everybody's all like, what are you talking about? He was always going.
He was, and then he wasn't, and then he is. So it doesn't matter.
But
'Cause he's
nobody...
going now, apparently.
So, Daigo
It's
and
not
Justin...
that the event still has yet to happen. Daigo still has yet to show up, but from what it sounds like, he will. And when he does, this whole thing will be past us, I suppose.
Right, so for us,
it was fucking weird as shit, like, in the first place, because lack of communication. So obviously this can, be something that people can learn from, that make sure that when you work in a place where you're supposed to be some sort of leader, that you need to make sure that you have all bases covered with any other organizations you're working with. Second, you got to make sure that before making any commitments or letting anything slide, you let people know the proper thing, and then, I don't know, just work through it all. That's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
business.
I think it's a pretty good summation of what happened.
Yeah. But one of the neat things that happened out of this whole ordeal, some change-ups in the local landscape here in the Super Dojo. And Watts had a stream over the weekend. It was basically an AMA. And he answered some questions. And I do enjoy the fact that Watts went out of his way to point out that, it's not a very professional in the sense of esports type of commentary that he's going to have on there. Like, he wants to focus on people being themselves and being, lively and having fun, right? But he did point out that he's not cool with any homophobic or racial slurs, which I think is great. And honestly, I think it's a great starting point, and I feel, we could definitely expand on these things to kind of curb language that is foul in other ways or even ableist, because that shit isn't any cool either. But as long as we have some ground rules and people understand that this isn't some fucking, like, no holds barred, let me just be a jack off on the stream, that's fantastic.
I can't wait for someone to unleash the fuck commentary, where all you say is the word fuck for like 3 minutes.
Somebody actually started doing that. Where it was just dropping fuck every 2 words just because they could. And I don't remember who it was on the stream.
Well,
It was
if you're
just
me, you only drop
No,
it every 487 words at the worst possible moment.
But we remember it.
Yep.
Because
Even after it
people are
gets muted.
stupid.
Man, I feel so great not having to hide that anymore. It feels liberating.
So just for the sake of consistency here, hey Chris, why didn't you do KOF this last year?
It was because I was banned from commentary.
Why's that?
Because I said fuck on the air the year before.
How many times?
Only once.
Okay.
That sounds really, overblown. For no reason.
I mean, at the time I was like, okay, I fucked up, I did it, and the first person to talk to me afterwards was it was Hans, and Hans says to me, dude, thank you, I've been waiting for 5 years for somebody to do that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great, I made Hans happy, but I'm pretty sure I'm fired, And nobody said anything to me other than that. Seg was just like, I just wish you hadn't apologized for it. And so I was like, well, I messed up, and I didn't want to make the brand look bad, and we decided not to, discuss it any further than that. I tried to make it right with Joey, and he didn't respond to me at the time, so I couldn't do nothing there. And then I found out later on that he had seen the actual video, I guess, or actually my timeline's a little messed up. But basically, he had seen the video and decided that I wasn't going to be able to come back the next year.
He didn't like the way you said fuck.
I mean, I guess I thought I caught myself though.
It was too guttural, Chris.
Was it too guttural? Was I just letting that go from the belly and
just like the HD activation? Fuck!
Did I
Colossus grunt?
That's actually a clip from the commentary of Chris saying
Oh no. But yeah, so that was something that I spent about 2 years not talking about because for one thing, I thought it was stupid. It didn't need to be talked about, and I assumed we were all on the same page where it was just like an accident. I'll take my punishment, and then we'll try to go on from there. And then recently, Mr. Wizard decided to let somebody know why I wasn't on commentary last year, and I guess possibly this year. And I was just it didn't really hurt. It just sucked because I was like, man, I've been sitting on this bullshit for 2 years, and you just dropping some random dude on Twitter, and you haven't even talked to me about this yet.
Yep.
That sucks. As somebody who tried to, and maybe I don't matter. Maybe I don't matter in the grand scheme of things to Evo because like, hey, it's Hell Pockets is like boycotting Evo. Blah, fuck them anyway, right? But the point was like, man, like even if I don't matter, I carry myself with a level of professionalism where I treat myself like I do matter because I don't want to bring any negative drama to Evo or the brand or anybody else's brand for that matter. Because I'm not the one that's there every day trying to build it up to something that it turns into every year, And you kind of just let it fly, like, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, then I'm like, whatever. And, I mean, that's all there is to say about it. There's no like, huge blow-up or anything or any kind of vendetta against Mr. Wizard. Like, I don't hate him or nothing. Like,
this isn't like some sort of ultimatum, fuck Evo. No, that's not it at all.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to have me back for KOF, if KOF is back this year and they want to have me back, fine. That's great. But I just was sick of not talking about it, especially after everybody was asking me why I wasn't on commentary last year. Some people were telling me to go fuck myself because I wasn't on commentary last year, which is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
If you, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I had a great time. Yeah. I helped Arcade Shock sell some shit at our first attendance at Vivo as a major sponsor with a booth. I'm sure that pissed off a couple people.
It honestly makes me question how the decisions for who gets to do what in terms of commentary are made. Because I've also done stuff for Evo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even for KOF, I was basically the lead-in to your guys' final act. Yeah. And from what I got wind when I was in the discussion of being one of the potential commentators is I was regarded as a loose cannon.
Really?
That was a direct quote.
Really?
Yes, and I was compared to Dogface, which I was fucking I felt I didn't deserve, and it was probably one of the greatest compliments I've ever been paid. But also a loose cannon. Yeah. Which just had me I'm just like some fucking down on my luck cop with nothing left to lose. It's like, you know what, these kids deserve the commentary they need.
He just
no more of these
tears open
boxes.
Wait, so you lead into me, I say fuck, and you're the loose cannon.
I'm the loose cannon. I think it's I'm really pale. I think that's the problem.
He looks like he's gonna do something at any moment. He just gets on the mic just to look around, inhale, and say fuck your mother.
I think the weirdest thing to come out of all this though was that from a lack of having metaphysics and Hell Pockets on commentary, somehow I got to commentate top 8 for King of Fighters at Evo, which is cool. I mean, I'm sure that's someone's life goal to do something like that. I just didn't think much of it, but it was a great experience. I'm really glad to have ever had that. I can now say to people and be like, yeah.
Great tournament, great experience, Sonny.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much all I can say at this point. Is be like,
hey, dude, you can say it. You got to commentate Evo.
That was honestly the best thing at Evo this year, was me being able to commentate it. And then, of course, people were like, who the fuck's this guy? He's so fucking boring, and these guys are like, oh, they don't, It's like, well, maybe I wasn't excited, and I shouldn't have to scream for people to, enjoy it anyways. But I really don't give a shit what they say. That's cool. The best thing to do is when someone's talking shit to you, and they're saying shit like, oh, this guy sucks. You know what you shouldn't do? Go on fucking Reddit and answer these people, because who gives a shit what they think?
Oh, yeah.
They weren't there.
That is the one thing I think I got right in the whole,
yeah.
I didn't go on. I saw it. I saw the post, and I was like, I really want to say something, but I promised everybody I wouldn't. So I'm just gonna go on with my life. And
yeah, I mean, and then you know what happened after that? Absolutely nothing.
Zero.
I did my job the way that Evo told me to do my job. I kept it clean. I guess I could have been maybe more excited if it wasn't for the fact I was been working 16-hour days and operating on 5 hours of sleep, and a lot of other bullshit happened to me when I was at Evo like it normally does, so,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
As long as you had fun doing it, man, that's all I can ever, that's the victory in your book.
That was honestly the best part of Evo for me, because everything else was just like...
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, it was a usual Evo for me, and if you know anything about my Evo...
The fact that you had to be fucking Solid Snake just to get us our fucking burgers?
That shit pissed me off. Let's not talk about that. Essentially what it is, I had to find out elaborate ways to sneak food into fucking Evo, because apparently vendors aren't allowed to eat. I don't know, it was weird.
We didn't pay enough for the eating package.
Burger in your pants. Just fucking jam that shit in there.
That's kind of what he did.
Yeah.
He stuffed like about 50 tacos in his pants. And,
I wasn't there
I
that
want to
day.
say, some of those tacos were kind of...
Oh yeah, hold on.
Kind of salty.
Hanzo brings up a very important point. I still didn't get my chicken Alfredo. I've been waiting 2 years to get this, and I still didn't get it. Everything is bad. Everything is awful. That was like the one best thing. I'm like, the chicken fettuccine Alfredo at this place is the bomb. It's the best. Oh, I've never had it like this before. It comes with a Caesar salad that's equally as delicious. Best Caesar salad I've had in my life. I didn't get it again. I'm so pissed.
Hey, Anthony, there's always next year.
Fuck that. I'm just, honestly, like, I am the most able to go to Evo right now. I could pay for my entire trip, like, now. I can get it all done. I could totally go, but I'm just thinking, every time I go to Vegas, my luck goes straight down the shitter, and I don't even gamble. I don't even lose money gambling. I just lose money getting robbed and other shit. Buy breaks for no reason. Actually, yeah, I get robbed at the fucking Johnny Rockets because apparently milkshakes are $7.50. Like, what the fuck was that?
That was terrible shit is what it was. Like,
it was a bad situation, and I just wasn't happy.
Hey, at least you ate that $23 meal at Johnny Rockets with me and Gonzo.
Tony,
right?
Tony, just all right. Like, you burned it out of your system. You finally aired out all these grievances. How does Colossus feel about this?
Oh, god damn it. Colossus never feels good.
Guys, we're slowly becoming a really shitty morning drive time station. We've got the soundboard now.
You know what? That is perfectly fine.
That was supposed to be our April Fool's joke, because we were supposed to be some real shock jocks in the morning kind of shit, and I just never got around to really getting a lot of the clips and shit that I needed to do it. But
so you're just doing it like over the year?
We were on April Fool's this year. That's the issue.
Yeah, it was a Monday.
Well, one of us wasn't on the show. I can't remember who.
Oh, I don't remember. We just didn't do it. Anything.
But speaking of blow-ups, I wanted to remark on yet another grudge match that happened at Wednesday night Fizzites.
Oh no! I didn't get to see it, but I heard Manda talk about it, and he's like, "Dude, I don't want to talk about Sidro anymore. Like, let's not talk about it. I'm explaining it one last time."
So, Chris, you watched it, right?
I got to see the highlights.
All right, so I watched the whole
damn thing.
I watched the whole thing, and that shit was amazing. So. There's some fucking, stupid-ass Street Fighter 4 Facebook group that all these kids are a part of. And Sidro has been, kind of going off saying that Mark Teddy ain't shit, that he used to look up to him, but now he realizes he's a fraud and whatnot. And, general derisive bullshit towards Mark Teddy. And this escalates to a money match. which happened at this past Wednesday Night Fights. And it was, so far, the worst ass blasting that has happened.
He won one round and then proceeded to lose 5 matches straight.
Just 10 rounds in a row after a 1-round win.
Ouch.
The dude got dumpstered. And the best part, I think, was Mark Teddy hitting him with his own pimp and doing the Bushin pose mid-match.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he did that.
With his own shit. I also enjoy Mark Teddy for talking shit mid-match. Like, he blocked the Waked Up Ultra and just asked, what the fuck was that? Like, that's a lost art. Like, questioning people's quality of play mid-match. Like, did you really think that was gonna work?
He's gonna drop him with the "Are you stupid?" Like,
it was brutal. It was not even entertaining to watch. That's how bad a beating it was.
jeez.
Well, I think what I'm hearing from people, the most entertaining parts were the things that were happening outside of the match. Like where apparently Mark Teddy was informing Bushin Style that he invented that tech, and Bushin Style was ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, the banter was real.
That's gotta hurt.
That was so good.
The after-match festivities went a little bit too long. Mark lost his chill. We'll say that.
Yeah, like,
and just sort of went in on the dude for probably close to like 15 minutes.
Like, I'm all about burning somebody after the match, but the match was like seriously 5 minutes long, like a minute per match, and the shit talked on for a while, and it got a little suspect with some questionable language. But one or two instances, nothing too heavy, but if they could have dialed that part back, it would have been fucking fantastic. I was still laughing the entire time. Because fuck, how do you lose so bad? How do you call someone a fraud and not even get on the board?
Yeah, I know, that's
how
pretty
do you
bad.
not get on the board?
Oh man, that's one of those things where you're just like,
that's already been made into a GIF. You know,
yeah, it's a GIF now, man.
Look, he's hitting him with his own pimp. Look at that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
I just love dude in the back in the black hoodie living it up. Like,
I gotta see it again.
Just the look on Sidro's face is just priceless. And Mark Teddy, he's really feeling it. Like he's putting emphasis into this. He wants this image to be burned into his mind.
Like he's just inhaling and doing it. I had to see it again. I'm just like,
yeah.
Bring that shit up.
Ooh, look at this. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh, the look away. That's when you know he's scared. He's scared.
Oh my god.
Not to mention the fact that dude looks like John Lovitz. So.
Oh my god.
Look, I'm not gonna get too much on what he looks like, but I will say his gameplay, it stinks. That shit was terrible.
Yeah, he got put away. Just dumpster.
That's unfortunate because like I really want those exhibitions to be like entertaining, like, you know, on the edge of your seat, and like, yeah, I know we were trying to, like, you know, force them into a direction where it's modeled after WWE, and sometimes there's a lot of squash matches in wrestling, but I think in this case you know, I don't know, man. Sometimes you get tired of squash matches, like, you know, you can only see.
The only thing that's going to end up happening is somehow, like, LTG catches wind of Sidro and we have an Al Snow versus Duke the Dumpster match. One of them just
you know, I mean, to be honest, we all enjoy watching the British Bulldogs hit some dudes in the face with some stiff clotheslines every once in a while. But you can't watch that all the time. There has to be a competitive match.
Right. There's no like, they have to start, and I know the big selling point is that they want this to be authentic. They don't want manufactured beef, and unfortunately Sidro is like the best at
unfortunately he's the linchpin because he's just stupid enough to run his goddamn mouth. Apparently a lot of the shit he talked to about fucking Mark wasn't even like, it was on Facebook groups. Oh god, the Facebook.
It's all on Facebook groups.
This part gets me, but it was all ones that Mark Teddy wasn't a part of because he ain't talking shit where he can see it, but he sure as hell good to hear about it.
Oh my god.
This was a classic. Heard you was talking shit. Like I wouldn't find out.
He pulled the Gwen Stefani, man.
It was just, man. That being said, all I can do is laugh and laugh louder until it becomes so bellowing and echoing that it fucking mutes the sound of all humanity until everyone goes deaf. Because this shit was free. Like, real bad. Like, it's humiliating, but I don't feel embarrassed for him at all.
Wow, that is some derisive laughter right there.
I'm trying to fill in for car talk because rest in peace that guy. You fucking were amazing.
Tony, that was worthy of the 10 DiBiase. That was some
Just like, I laugh at you peasants.
Oh my god.
That's good.
I might be evil.
We knew that already.
Derisiveness.
We already knew.
Oh, I'll talk shit if I can take the heat. I mean, people will say all the shit I want. I'll be talking bad shit on people, and they go, "Play me in the game." Like, I don't play, dude. I suck. You know, I'll give that up. That's fine. It's not gonna stop me from talking shit.
It's not giving up anything because you're just like, shit. I'm still talk shit, but I suck. So you can talk all the shit you want back, even though we're not.
Yeah, I'm bad in this video game, but you're fucking also bad apparently. So
the only
fuck
difference
you.
between you and I is that you care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit of my skill level, but you apparently care a lot about the banter. And if it goes to the point where you're gonna want to start throwing fists, I'll let you hit me, but you're going to jail.
God, you're such
That's
a
all that's
scumbag.
gonna happen.
You're such a scumbag. That guy from Happy Gilmore that just runs around yelling jackass.
Yeah, pretty much. That's me.
Wow. It's an interesting reference.
It's exactly what I think of every time he talks about suing somebody after he provokes them to hit him.
Yeah. Be like, dude, you can hit me all you want, but I am pressing charges. I'm gonna find out where you are because all these people know who you are, so it doesn't matter. And I mean, if you want to ruin your life, you might as well kill me because you can make it worth it. You can go to jail for beating up a guy. You can go to jail for manslaughter. Those are your
What
choices.
the fuck, man?
I don't give a shit, dude. Whatever.
That's so depressing in some ways.
I mean, it kind of is to some extent, but it's to the point where it's like, grow up, dude. But these are just words, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, usually the guy somebody gets mad because you're talking shit, and it's not innately, it's not like immediately bothering them, but the fact that there's noise in general and they're losing is two things grating against each other. You couple that with the fact that there's a clear voice that appears to be the source of all that noise, and hey man, you want to lay off a bit? I'm here with my son.
I really enjoyed the mid-match fucking banter that Mark Teddy was firing off because I love just the quick and to the point shit talk. We're like, yes.
Whack ass ultra. Whack ass ultra.
Whack it. Or just questioning everything you do. It's like, what are you trying? Why are you even trying? Why did you wake up?
Why did you do that?
Why'd you get out of bed?
What button did you press? What were you trying to do? Like, what's going on?
Rationalize this for me. Walk me through it.
I need a who, what, where, when, why, and how that you did this. I'm gonna need a description of the guy who you thought you were, so I can sketch this out. Because
He sounds
apparently
like he's
it
a
ain't
good
that.
match.
You are not an Adonis. You are not a god amongst men. You are just some garbage.
So what's next then?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Like, are they just gonna? Because like the idea I have is that sure, these beef matches, they're hilarious. They always end hilariously. It's great TV. But you're gonna need something to cover the midday shit. Because I can easily see these grudge matches or these first to 5 sets outgrowing parts of the tournament. I mean, everybody likes watching, or the people that do watch Wednesday Night Fizzites, God, I don't ever want to say that again. The people that do enjoy watching that, they will watch it, but I think it's pulling in more people that they're presenting a more condensed set of action, more to the point, fun stuff to watch. Mm-hmm. And the fact that there's hilarious pop-offs occurring afterwards and before and during, as it was the case last week, I think maybe they should keep that train rolling with maybe just some scheduled matches. Say, hey, you two want to play each other? Some people think this is going to be a great match, and from there you can do whatever you want. You can, if you really wanted to be a dick, you could say, and he thinks you're a sissy, he thinks you're a piece of shit.
He thinks you're weak.
I heard he said that he could beat you with zero hands using only his feet. And then he put his shoes on with his feet again.
Yeah, what you need to do is you need to like throw a bottle and then hand another one to someone else and take off. You got to exacerbate the situation.
Somebody's got to throw a chair at the crowd.
Be an instigator. You know, that's what we're looking for next. The Super Dojo instigator.
Oh, they need a
Don
Don King?
Just be like, hey, Velociraptor, you know, I heard that Snake Eyes was talking mad shit, saying that you are whack. And then, you know, Velociraptor would probably be like,
yeah, you're right.
I know. And then I'll be like, well, damn it, that didn't work. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Actually, that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to be, well, I'm not encouraging Watts or Mondo, although Mondo would probably do it anyway, to do that.
Like, we don't necessarily need people to be speaking hyperbole, but rather, you know, we need to have people to just, you know.
Technically, it's not a lie if you believe it.
That's true. And I'm pretty sure these essay-length fucking posts on this Facebook group that I'm trying to find. Like,
you know what would be a better question to ask people? Rather be like, hey, do you think you're better than so-and-so player? And they'll be like, oh, yeah,
that's
I think
what
I am. And then you
go
go over to them and you just go, yeah, but then you just go over there and be like, hey, that guy says he's better than you.
Yes, exactly. That is the oldest trick in the book.
They used to do that. They used to do that in Tekken in St. Louis, in the Tekken scene.
They
call it Don Kinging. They apparently had a wig, too. I'm not making this up.
Oh my god.
It was a way for them to encourage each other to get better because they would just use playful shit talk. Like, it's like, man, you're a hella whack. You think you're actually any good? And you just get people like that. And when it's like, damn, did you hear what he said about you? And you're just like, what do you mean he said about me? And other guy wouldn't have even said anything. It would just be the guy Don Kinging to create a match. Just like, let's see who's better.
That's all you gotta do.
Step their shit up.
Sure, it's a little unscrupulous, but whatever. We're all friends here, right? For now.
I mean, apparently until you make, you know, fucking encyclopedia entry-length posts on Facebook groups.
Fuck, dude.
Here are the numerous reasons you are a fraud in order of magnitude. 1, you're a buster, and your guy ain't even that nice.
Oh my
God, I'm trying to find these. I actually got into that Facebook group just for this sheer reason.
Oh my god.
These could only be good.
You know they got deleted.
I was looking.
He deleted them immediately after them.
I'm sure.
I was looking at Santa's list, and you were on a third list that just said mediocre. What's that shit?
I mean that's something I was trying to convey to Level Up back when they first started doing this like heavily. Is that, you know, you can set these matches up beforehand and just ask the guy like, hey, what do you like this guy? And then he says, well, these reasons. And then the other guy says, you know, and I've realized that the way people play, like, if somebody verbally just exposes their weaknesses like that, they may not even know they had those weaknesses, you know? But some people get really sensitive about that shit. You know,
what I was actually about to say is you can't really just set matches up and then expect people to talk, because a lot of people they're not gonna go into it with the right mindset. They're gonna just go into it super seriously, so they're gonna be afraid to talk shit.
That's true, yeah. Well, you gotta
I think my mindset when I played a lot of these games is a lot like Mondo's mindset, except Mondo's a way better player at games than me, where he just says everyone fucking sucks, and it makes me smile when I see him playing like Street Fighter or anything else. Be like, this guy's bad. He's terrible. Like, look at all the shit he's doing. He's no good. And then, you know, he's still losing, but it doesn't matter because I agree with that. Everyone's bad. It doesn't matter if they're beating me; they're still bad.
You still suck. The fact that we're even in the same bracket.
Quote of, I'm not that good, but I'm better than you.
I just like talking shit all the time. It gets me into the mood, into the mindset.
Actually, Doofus brings up an important point, where Valle tells Daigo that he heard Justin said he was better than him at 3S. At which point, I think Daigo would say, "Good for him."
Yeah, I don't think he gives a shit.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's just there for that ultra money. But it'll be interesting to see that match anyway, just to see if he actually did practice at the week that it took for him to, prepare to come out here. You know, maybe dialed up the Nuki, say, hey, come help me grind.
You know, the fact that he's entering the Third Strike tournament, and the off chance that I can meet him in the brackets and destroy him when he's no longer good, and get one of those KBR wins under my belt when it's completely meaningless. Can't wait for that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna be that guy? Like, yeah, I put him away. He wasn't even good. He
Like my
didn't play
entire
anymore.
Third Strike career is just gonna be a series of footnotes. Top 8 teams beat Daigo. 10 years later.
You know what? That actually sounds perfect for your career. Might as well go for it.
Just a series of footnotes, like one SBO.
When nobody showed up.
Beat Daigo in a drinking contest. Damn it.
I couldn't even get him to start. Swear to God. He ducked me. That's okay, though.
I'm trying to think what other wonderful footnotes I can have on there.
You once beat David Kong on a shaky cam.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that was one of your finer moments, actually.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, that also came about from that guy talking shit.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was thinking about this whole time.
That was
like,
authentic.
Man, remember when David Kong talked shit to everybody about KOF, and everybody took turns just making a highlight reel out of his ass?
Just fucking the music just starts up. Baby. Sanchez runs afoul of a shit talker.
Bam! I think the only person... Gibby, did you ever play him?
No, he never played me. He and I were supposed to do a hair versus beard match, but he left the room.
Ah.
That's probably when he found out you had more beard than he had hair.
Yeah, that's probably true.
If it's 2012, hell yeah, man. But yeah, so that should be a good weekend. I'm sorry I can't make it, but you guys have fun. Make sure you visit the Arcade Shock booth, as well as the Split Frame booth, where you can get lovely split frame products that are manufactured by I don't know where I'm going with that.
Not children in
Not
China?
children.
I don't know.
Not children. Yes, they are manufactured by grown men and women in various parts of the world that are not on the map.
Wow.
Not on the map. Also, parts unknown. Got
Parts unknown. There we go. They will be selling something, I believe, some designs that you will want to get a hold of. Split frame. Fans divided, become united.
This is the most Reynolds-esque commercial.
Yeah, I was about to
you.
say, this is a Reynolds promo right
See,
now.
on a better note, what you could do is you could say, hey, come to the Arcade Shock booth. We're going to have these exclusive Third Strike buttons that you can't get anywhere else. We're going to be selling them to you in person. All 20 characters from Third Strike. You guys can buy them.
See,
They're very limited.
when you're talking about Arcade Shock, you can easily make the promo look like 100 times more exciting because it's, Arcade Shock.
Yeah.
Still feeling myself around this split frame promotion stuff. But yeah, we got them sick-ass Third Strike buttons. With the original art, right? Yeah, original art.
Yeah.
None of that bullshit touched-up New Age art.
Or, I think it might be touched up a little bit, but...
It's the original art with maybe some slight edits.
Yeah.
It's not the... God, what's that artist's name? One of the Udon guys. I think it's...
Guy Udon.
Is it Arnold Sang?
Yes.
I mean, I like the guy's work. I love the original Capcom art.
Oh yeah, the original Capcom art is definitely superior.
Like, objectively, my opinion of it.
My objective opinion is that it's objectively bad.
Objectively bad. I literally have nothing else.
Yep. Old Man Tournament's going to be good. See, this is how you create, bullshit content right now. Old Man Tournament's going to be really good. There's going to be a bunch of side tournaments. See, one of the main reasons for the BYOC being there is that Watts couldn't find the time or the space to set up a Guilty Gear tournament. So the BYOC is there mainly for the Guilty Gear guys. Hey, Paul, how do you feel about Guilty Gear being a side tournament at another major-ish type deal event?
When is it not?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Can we discuss something more important? Street Fighter 4 is a side tournament at this event.
Mm-hmm.
That feels fantastic.
Wait, is it like literally a side tournament? But they were planning on putting it on.
Well,
It's the 09er side tournament.
Yeah, the schedule right now shows that Saturday, 6 p.m. is going to be Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
The tournament's going to open up, I believe, with CBS 2, And then 2 hours later, Marvel 2 starts. Or no, 2 hours later, Third Strike starts. 2 hours after Third Strike starts, Marvel and SD start.
Okay. Now, are they going to be playing Reload?
I don't know what gear they're playing. Since it's BYOC, I just assume
they're going to play Plus R.
Yeah, that's what you would figure. And then there's going to be a Vampire Savior tournament held by Rotanabor. I'm told by multiple sources they want to do like old SNK shit, which I would like to play in, but I'm not going to have time. I'm sad.
Because you're going to be working.
Yeah, something like that. It's going to suck.
It's going to suck. Well, you can come out there and hang out with Gibby. And
I'm bad at everything, so it doesn't matter anymore. I'm washed up as shit. Like, seriously, I'm pretty sure
every time you
just
fucking
took me
say that
and
shit,
flushed
I'm like,
me out
okay.
before.
I'm like, okay, fine, let's play in something real quick. And then you beat my ass, and I'm like, you're not washed up. And you're like, yeah, you just suck.
Because
I mean,
true.
that's accurate.
It's true. Like,
Well,
I guarantee
who are you addressing when you say you washed up? Like, compared to who?
compared to me 10 years ago?
Oh, well, shit.
Terrible. Really bad.
Like, man, 10 years ago, I would have beat you in half the time.
This is probably true. Well, the one thing I do better now is beat the shit out of people one-handed. So, yeah.
That should just be your thing now.
I can still play fighting games with my feet, too. So.
You can be, Shanghai West.
No, Shanghai is Gibby East.
Oh, damn.
Get that shit right now. I don't play no
That doesn't make any sense. No, both of them don't make sense. Technically, isn't Shanghai to the west of you?
Well, see, if you go east from where I am, you will eventually get to Shanghai. See?
Yeah, eventually, but
No,
it's
And
closer
also
to go to the west.
West may be closer, but that's just too intuitive. If you take a map and flatten it out and look at it, it's east to the east.
I'm pretty sure that the center of the world is where I live in
Oh,
California.
so now you're over here talking about center of the world and shit like it's a fucking globe or something.
Well, I mean, the center is where I'm at. The world revolves around me.
Alright, so what's east of you?
Yo, mama, I don't know. Actually, she's not.
oh.
She's actually to the west now that I think about it. That's not important. To the east of me is, I don't know, the East Coast.
Nice save. Oh, man. But yeah, so, come out, do stuff. Watch it on Super Dojo's amazing channel with those nice new overlays that were made by that fan guy and from R Kappa. See, R Kappa does some nice things once in a while.
I like that they just scribbled out the Wednesday night fights, like the fights portion, and just put Fizzites. And I didn't see the run back, but I heard the run back is called the Run Bizak, I think.
Yeah.
He tweeted that shit, and I tweeted back and like, dude, what the hell? And he DMs me. He's like, what? What's wrong with it?
Huh? These are temporary. I'm more than certain.
Of course they are.
They said they were.
Why would they be temporary? This is like perfect Snoop Dogg lingo from like 15 years ago.
Yeah, basically.
Fuck. I hate myself right now. That's okay.
You good there?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this Fizzites and Run Bizzle, and then I look at my Twitter feed and I instantly see Bazinga and like it's all bad.
Oh man, I see what it is. Shit. Okay.
You understand the suffering I'm in right now?
I'm not even gonna look.
Wow.
So Tony, you wanted to talk about video games?
And once again, this is where we have the least amount of time because we bullshitted around otherwise.
Hey, who was doing most of the bullshitting?
Not me. I was complaining. I was screaming.
Bullshitting. I don't know if you guys.
My complaining isn't bullshit. It's all 100% legitimized.
By who? Other than you.
By me, the only one that matters.
So you say you complain about real shit, basically.
You can show yourself out, sir.
I didn't think I got on the show because I'm me.
That is true.
I don't even know what that means.
Definitely.
Of course you wouldn't because you're not me.
That's true. Thank God for small favors.
This freaking circular
No,
logic is
I
too
was.
strong.
I wanted to talk about game development, but this time I wanted to talk a little bit about rejuvenizing old series, or developing certain things. So kind of like taking something old, much like the Double Helix and Killer Instinct, like how would you like execute it? Do you have any ideas for like, it doesn't have to be as a whole, but even if you have any specific examples, or how would you think that it would test well with people out currently out here in the market? The thing I was thinking about a bit was Breaker's Revenge, and I was thinking, so Breaker's is pretty simple game, though it does have a lot of interesting button combinations that do specific, things for characters. You have special moves, you have supers, you have 3 super gauges, but each super only takes 1 meter. So, like, if I was to develop a new one, I was trying to think, would I want multi-bar supers? Do I want, higher levels? Do I want to add EX moves? Do I want to modernize it too much? Or do I want to kind of keep the gameplay the same as it was, but just maybe expand in different areas, rebalancing? Would it end up becoming more of an HDR of Breaker's Revenge, or would I really try and go for the 3 and add so much more to it, So I don't know if you guys had any thoughts about other games, but I was just kind of thinking about, as the development of fighting games goes forward, do we want to try and modernize and make them more all the same? Do we want to just kind of keep it as it is, but try and provide a better balance, much like, a 98 UM? It's just things that I think about all the time, about not necessarily what all people want, but what could still work in this kind of climate of video games.
I don't know. I think the hardest thing with going for old games and new versions of them is that, for whatever reason, and I don't know if this is pressure from bigger companies or whether they do focus tests, but I like older games because they're really fast, and most of games now, the walk speed is atrocious and the game speed is pretty slow in general, and that's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to speed that up, and yet I don't know if that's something that would actually appeal to people now, to be honest with you. I feel like the generation gap exists, very much so. Because obviously, people really do like Street Fighter 4, and I don't, at all.
Yeah.
So I think it's a hard thing to say, because you can't just unilaterally make your own game and expect it to be popular. You have to make compromises.
Yeah, you have to kind of, maintain some sort of precedents that have been set. But thinking about that, like, even games like Street Fighter have evolved a lot over the years. Obviously, Street Fighter 1, the very baseline, you had special moves. It was kind of weird. 2 came out, became a really big hit. You have characters, you have new ways of control, you have, more than just Ryu that you can play. Or can, obviously, if you're playing 2-player. But after that, all the Street Fighter 2 different revisions, added supers, all these other things. It was Alpha was the next series, right? And
I think so.
Alpha was different, because now we had multi-levels of our supers. We had all these other things, new moves. We still didn't have dashing or running or anything like that. And then not Third Strike, but just Street Fighter 3 in general. Now we had dashes, more things like super jump. Supers that you choose which super you want. You only had one, but then, we also have EX moves. It's going to cost supers. So, every Street Fighter game, like, even if we throw in, what is it called? The EX series in there, that was developed by a different company, but you also had multi-supers, but each one was only level 1, but you also had these level 3s with the EX2 that came out. We had the Excel system added to it. EX3 came out. We had 2 people per team you could have. And, like, as you go along, a lot of these games have somewhat of the core elements, but they play completely different. I mean, even from Alpha 2 to Alpha, or even Alpha 2 to Alpha 1, there's a lot of, like, ways they are played. Like, sure, it kind of has some sort of, like, basic core elements of special moves and the way normals work, but they're all pretty different if you really think about it, like, exactly how it all plays out. But when with 4 that came out, they kind of wanted to go back, I suppose, but it's still different. It's its own unique entity that we can sure make parallels with older versions of the games. But the thing is that people did get upset because things like, obviously, we had Hyper Fighting purists, ST purists, Alpha 2 purists, Alpha 3, people didn't like Third Strike. They each had their own groups. And this has kind of been a constant thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to keep making the same game over and over, right? I mean, even with King of Fighters, people like O2, people like UM, and all these other ones in between are kind of just like this weird experimental until we hit the this other version. With the way it is, people want a level of familiarity. We look at things like Yatagarasu, where we could tell that what its influences are and how it wants to be. But does that necessarily mean that we have to make it like that in order for it to be good, or what?
I think there is. What do I want to say? I think there definitely in Street Fighter 4's case, there has been a lot of playing it safe since the game came out. Each of the new versions have only changed a few things here, a few things there, mostly swapping around a lot of numbers until Ultra added Red Focus.
Yeah.
Because I think they didn't want to scare away the fan base.
Yeah.
But I think no matter what you do to a game, changing it at all will turn some people off and make other people like it. That's just the nature of, preference. People are just going to be like, oh, I don't like that, and they'll just quit. Even if it's the smallest thing. People would be like, oh my god, Honda, his headbutt, and now really punishable, I quit. So, I don't think you can necessarily always worry about that. In the past, I think Capcom did a really good job with each new series, just taking it in a completely different direction and just kind of going, well, this is what we're doing with it, and you're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
So I think that's more what game companies need to do, especially with new franchises. That, especially Killer Instinct, Double Helix, and Iron Galaxy, took the opportunity, and they took things that people remembered from KI, but they also changed it enough that it's not just catering to people who played the original games.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they took some liberties with the ideas and the system, and sort of went in their own direction because they thought it was going to be better for the life of the series. So, Guilty Gear, we're going to find out in, a little under a month how people react to the new Guilty Gear.
Mm-hmm.
There's already people on Twitter who proclaim that they think Xrd is shit because of YRC and this and that, and the game looks slow. And for people who sit down and watch it, I don't think it looks that different, to be completely honest. YRC is going to take some getting used to, but there's always, every time something new comes out, because it's not something old, they're going to hate on it.
And then I guess you also have the antithesis of that, where you have something that comes out that's practically exactly the same, and people will hate it because it's nothing new.
Yep.
Oh, you mean the argument for Chrono Phantasma 2?
Ooh.
Yeah.
The changes are not enough. It's like, okay. They added some stuff. They fixed some things around. They maybe condensed the tier list. A little too early to tell, but everyone's already complaining. You know what I've come to realize? Everyone can just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
honestly,
again,
like when I see people's opinions about fighting games, and I honestly always think, are we on the same internet? Am I privileged to a section of the internet that allows me to read and actually take in this information? Is that not allowed to you? Are you only on CNN.com?
Scrambled internet.
Yeah, it's like, dear Mr. Michael Z, here's why I think Hornet Bomber needs more invulnerability.
Oh God, why?
Another Philia. Maybe call her Philia.
Thrillia, yeah.
Thrillia.
She'll have sunglasses.
Yeah.
Third version of her now?
Yeah.
You can play an entire team of 3 Philias. Like, how
and the best part is that, this new Philia has the hair ability, but it's because of the sunglasses are one of the living weapons, but not because of a parasite like Samson. And they're also fucking sick sunglasses. They're pretty fucking
they're like pretty slick. Like they're like Ray-Bans, but like also Oakleys at the same time.
Yeah, they're fucking like the best. They're just when people look at them, they get mad jealous. I'm just gonna say.
They actually turn into jelly.
Yeah.
Like when I see people remarking about how Xrd, it's like, yeah, I'm glad they took away all this stuff and like brought it back to like core Guilty Gear gameplay without adding all this other stuff. And I'm like, Danger Time's right there, Blitz Shielding's right there, Hellfire's right there, and you guys don't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, for real, man. Like it's all there, and I guess you don't see
Hellfire super damage is real. Like that's
dude, I was watching some footage earlier, and Slayer just counter hit dead on time Hellfire through like a gunflame, and it was like, lol, I'll take this trade. Like, you're giving me your Charizard for the back of a fucking, like, bicycle club fucking...
I got the rules right here, baby. You want to learn how to play Yeah, you want to learn how to play bridge? Just slap that shit down on there. Thanks for the hollow foil, dumbass.
It's like, yo, give me your Zapdos EX and I'll trade you this rules for playing draw and stud poker. Good trade.
Yeah. It's just like... Yeah, so I guess it really does come down to that. So it's all just kind of more of like ideas of how you would want to do it, because of course you're not going to appeal to everyone. But I really, like, we talk about this all the time. We always joke, Breakers 3, but I mean, if I really had the chance to really think about and develop this, I would put a lot of thought and, get a lot of input about it. Just because Breaker's Revenge to me is the fighting game that anybody can pick up and just already start having a good time without it being too shallow, There's a lot of stuff you can do with that, but it's also pretty freeform. Everybody kind of has a fair shot, unless people decide to want to play show. But usually noobs that play show don't know all the dirty shit, so it doesn't matter.
Shut up.
They don't know the 100%. They don't know the unbreakable combos. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, in cases like that, I always hedge toward what they did with Darkstalker's Resurrection. Just make the game HD. Just bring it back. Maybe in situations like that, if you're really looking to tap into a new audience, update the game visually. So if you're talking about just strictly breakers, the only thing I would honestly do is remake the sprites for today. Make the game HD. That's it.
Would you...
I feel like... I'm not going to touch that. I wouldn't mess because I feel like when you start messing with the balance of a game that already exists, all you're going to do is put somebody in the place where the old character was. There's always going to be a best character. You're never going to have definitely. A balanced game. And I think that attempts to make a game balanced by tweaking tiers never ends up working the way the people who are tweaking the game want it to. Ever.
Oh, damn. The chat's got some banter today. Breaker's Revenge can be a pickup game and play game, even for Jabali? No, not for Jabali. Jabali gets blown out for free.
God.
Best in Florida, right?
No,
Best in Florida.
watching it. So as someone who plays Breakers decently enough, especially against Gibby, I saw exactly what he was doing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that basic shit where he's just toying with you until you really start ramping it up. I can't wait for Jabali. Maybe he's sandbagging him too. And then I see Gibby never has to evolve past Yomi layer 1 and just do the most basic shit. Like, I'm just gonna keep jumping, and then he loses. I'm like, what's going on? Oh man, I thought he was good. He was talking all this good shit, and then he just got put away. That being said, fuck you, Gibby. I whoop your ass.
Wow. So you mean to tell me you're willing to put money on this, her?
Hell no. I'll buy you a pizza, maybe.
Ooh.
I'll buy you a pizza and then we'll play.
Oh,
no, I mean, I'll just buy you a pizza. It won't be on the line. I'll just have pizza.
You know what? This sounds like the future of, money matches and shit. Hey, let's just buy a pizza and fight out our shit, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be it's not on the line. Let's just have a nice potluck while playing video games.
Man, see, you can't do that because then you're going to have those all right, we forgot to mention this in our follow-up at the blow-up that happened, but Chris, I don't know if you caught this part.
What's up?
But so dude gets 5-0'd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ass blasted, thrown into the dumpster, wrapped up, shipped out. Doesn't have the money.
Oh no!
What? Hold on, I gotta turn myself down.
Hold on, I do actually have to put a caveat on that because Watson came out and talked about this later. He said it was actually known that he didn't have the money, and it was agreed upon. He was betting his next paycheck. Or something.
Fair enough. So he was going forward. All right.
Damn.
Yeah, I understand that, but the thing is, if I money match Gibby's my friend. I'm sure, Bushin style is not Mark's friend.
No, that's definitely true.
Well,
especially after the posts.
Well, now I understand why he popped off so hard, because he wasn't getting shit that night, so he had to get something.
Because what I was going to bring this back to is, you do something like that where you don't have the money. If you're going for the whole idea, it's hey, instead of the money, we're just going to go with pizza, right?
Wait a minute,
and there'll just be a pizza there.
You're asking what happens if you don't have the money? Say you don't have the money after, say, a $5,000 money match with an international player in a hotel room after you spent, a month talking shit?
Who would ever do that?
I'm not saying anybody would ever do that, but the kind of guy that would do that would have to be the biggest piece of shit in the FGC. It's almost like he should
That's
just
not necessarily true. There's also people out there that, borrow $7,000 and don't pay it back. And then we have other people out there who claim their house burned down and there's no evidence. And we got all kinds of people like that.
Yeah, we do.
It's getting a little thick in here.
I just wanted to remark about pizza, like the whole gag.
Sorry. I take the banter too far. I take it too far.
What if we just start a pizza match? But like the equivalent of like not bringing the money to a pizza match would be somebody just buys really shitty pizza and we play for it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna lose, so I'm gonna get.
I mean, then you set criteria to be like, nah, dude, we ain't getting Little Caesars. You're not going to Tostino's and buying a fucking.
So we're not cool with Little Caesars.
Wait,
Yes.
We're not?
You're
How
officially
are you not
going on
with
record.
Little Caesars?
I would say Little Caesars would be the bare minimum. Like that's as low as you can go. Like you can't come in here with a fucking frozen.
Look, if it's gonna be Little Caesars, it's gonna be at least the deep dish. Because
Big
otherwise,
cheese.
I'm fine with that. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
The big cheese. They still have.
no,
that,
I'm not a
right?
big fan of Little Caesars.
Little Caesar still has
Yeah,
a big
that's
cheese, right? Remember when Pizza Hut had the Bigfoot, and then Little Caesar
Oh,
had
yeah.
the big cheese.
Yeah, and then Domino's
yeah,
had
yeah.
the Dominator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
I
were the
remember
days,
the
man.
Bigfoot. I don't remember the other ones.
Yo,
I
Gibby,
do.
you remember this because you're also Mexican. El Gigante,
Oh man,
Del Gigante from Pizza Loca. They still do it. They
yeah,
don't
I was
give
gonna
a
say
fuck.
they still do it. They still do
You
it.
still get 24 slices of this bitch
Why does everybody else stop doing that? That was actually a pretty good deal.
because they're busters.
It's true.
They ain't about this big life.
From what I gather, there's just not enough people ordering it, which I don't believe, because there are people out there
It's
like me
America. Everybody's
who will
ordering
eat
too much
multiple,
pizza.
Like I will eat 2 whole pizzas to myself and not think anything of it, and I'm okay with this.
Dude.
Hell, like this past weekend, I ate 12 tacos and a shit ton of churros, so I'm living that life.
I'm not about it.
I'm living that life. God damn it.
You know what I've been about this life? Or the life that I've been about? Is these chicken strips and tenders.
Oh my god.
You should try the chicken tender. They're good.
They are.
Thanks, Mark
Yep.
Sanchez.
We have 2 Sanchez's on today.
Yeah! Like, after you kept playing that, I had to go to the fucking local Burger King because it's the only place that had chicken tenders by where I worked. And I got the buffalo ones, and we had discussed before how Burger King had been like a disappointing fucking mess for the last couple of years, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, for my $6 worth, they were satisfying, they were tangy. Like, I got some barbecue sauce on the side to dip the fries in to kind of take the edge off if the buffalo was too vinegary, and like, it was actually satisfying. Got a lemonade with it. I was genuinely surprised. Like, is Burger King on the way
Are
back?
the Burger King fries still ass?
These were actually not bad, which I think they might be just an anomaly of that one place. They were very reminiscent of the old school, like, decade ago fries where they weren't excessively salty, but they had that kind of like crunch to them without being, super dry.
Mhm.
They were good. I was just really surprised, and it's been twice in a row that I've gone to this place that I've been really satisfied with it, and I'm just kind of worried of going to any other Burger King and just being like bursting into tears in the drive-thru when it's not the same.
You don't want to have the second Burger King blow up in your life?
No, I can't stand that shit anymore, dude.
Can only take so much.
Life is
No
too
more
precious for that shit.
No more crying in drive-thrus.
Especially outside of the car, man. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just
You want to know? I'm not sure if I actually said this before, but my big sadness with fast food happened when my aunt and uncle first moved out to Manteca, and we helped them move in, and we were hanging out there for a while. At the time, at what's it called? Jack in the Box, they had a blackberry milkshake. And I got that. It's so amazing. Blackberry, like any ice cream related thing, is probably my favorite. Like, I gotta say, it's just so good. And every year I've been waiting for it to come back seasonally. It's been like 3 years now and it just never came back. I'm so disappointed. Damn, why is yours so like loud and like angry?
Actually, I've been told that that's how I sound all the time. Actually, you guys told me that too.
Ah.
It's guttural, right?
Yeah,
Very
right.
Well, that's about it, right?
I think we ran out of sound effects.
Yeah.
No, I have tons, but that's not the point. The point is, damn it, the video discussion once again got cut quick, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Honestly, what's probably going to happen too today, which is going to be kind of special, I guess. Since it's now my day off, and I'm kind of getting used to this new schedule. Stick around if you want to just watch me stream stupid shit, like maybe Lethal League or other games you guys might want to play with me, and just talk to me about shit. And any of these other guys are welcome to stay if they want to. They don't have to.
Nope.
I mean, I don't think Ultrachun's going to be on anyway. So
I think they are.
Are they ever on?
Are they?
Hold
What?
on, let me
What?
take a look. Let's see. Ultra Chen.
I thought there was a website.
There should be like an Ultrashin like Twitter that says, "Is Ultrashin on yet?" Nope.
Let's see.
I saw something about a Tuesday show.
Oh, it's a Tuesday show. Yeah, I guess they moved it.
No, by popular demand.
Hey,
all right.
Thank you, Colossus.
But so stay tuned. After the show, Walkman's going to be playing games on here. So in case you want to just sit around and hang out with him, maybe play him, tell him he sucks, do that.
He does.
All right. So from everybody here at Super Desperation Radio, thanks for listening, and good night, and good luck.